Hi everyone! Today we're going to talk about how to feel more confident in your own skin. I felt like what better way to talk about this while I am doing my hair. And just a quick note, I have been on a natural hair journey for a very long time. I've come a long way with loving my hair, but I feel like even recently I'm just trying to embrace it even more, wear it out more, and really take my time with taking care of my hair. I have very natural curly hair and it takes a lot to work with, put products in, deep conditioning, all this stuff. So since it takes a while, I figured why not do my hair while I'm talking about this topic. As you can also see in the background, I have a hooded dryer, which I just bought. Usually for my hair to dry and the curls to stay not frizzy, I need to use a diffuser on my hair. And I mean, for anyone who's never used it, it takes a while to dry your hair and you kind of have to hold it on your hair and I don't know, it's just a lot. So anyways, I went to the hairstylist the other week or last week, and of course she always puts me under the hooded dryer to let my curls dry with the product in. And I was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to invest in a hooded dryer. So that's why I have that in the background. I'm probably gonna sit under it after I do my hair. And I'll quickly just say, I did detangle my hair already in the shower. I put a deep conditioner mask on my hair and I got out of the shower, sat in my bed and did some work this morning as I was sitting with this on my head. This is basically like a hot cap. So when you're doing any sort of deep conditioner treatment, it's good to have some heat to let that really sink into your hair and your hair to take it all in. So that's what I was doing. And then I washed it out, put a little bit of my leave-in conditioner in my hair already, and that's where I'm at right now. But I'm gonna section my hair, put more of this in, as well as some mousse, and then sit under the dryer. Just quickly before we get started, I know this is not really a hair tutorial, but I'll just let you know the products I'm using. I'll have them linked if you're interested, and even this hooded dryer if you're interested. I'm using Curls Blueberry Bliss leave-in conditioner. It smells literally so freaking good. Literally smells like blueberries, and it's organic, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's organic. And I'm using Camille Rose Spiked Honey Mousse, which also smells like honey. It smells so freaking good. So anyways, that's what we're gonna be doing. Can we just take a moment to look at this mane of my hair? So I feel like it's taken me a long time to feel confident in my own skin. I think naturally, I'm 27 by the way, if anyone is new here. Okay, sorry, I just moved my mirror onto this side. But I feel like it takes a while for you to really feel confident in your own skin. I feel like some of us, we just expect ourselves to fully love ourselves. And we look at others like, wow, I wish I was as confident as her. I wish I loved myself just like her. And I feel like if you have low self-worth or there's something that you don't like about yourself, it's totally fine to not fully know how to even embrace those parts of you or fully love yourself. Again, it's taken me a long time to embrace so many different parts of me, especially the parts of me that weren't necessarily uplifted in society or around me in my immediate environment. A lot of it being my hair for one, my eyes I never liked, when I had, breakouts and not the clearest skin, I always felt self-conscious about that. My body type, my body shape, everything. And I feel like something that's always helped me be confident and, love the skin that I'm in is focusing on my health. I've talked about this in my glow up video, which I will link down below. I'll probably have more of those. By the way, I need to drench my hair. Ideally, I usually do this in the shower, but I'm doing it now. I have to drench my hair in order for my products to actually want to be in my hair. But one thing that's helped me feel more confident and loving myself is making sure that I'm healthy. And if you think about it, the people who you're really attracted to, you want to be probably, or you say you wish you look like, they probably have some sort of traits or they look healthy. And now the idea of what health looks like is absolutely going to depend. But I mean, naturally, I think we have this distinct knowing of when somebody is healthy or not. And like, it doesn't mean that this person has like the longest, thickest hair, but maybe their hair just looks very healthy, or, you know, maybe their skin is not exactly perfect, but there's something about their skin that's just glowing and you can just tell that they're healthy. They're a healthy person. Or, you know, maybe somebody's teeth are not the straightest and the most perfect, but you can tell that they take care of their teeth are healthy. Or maybe, you know, this person doesn't have the most perfect body that maybe society is uplifting right now, but you can tell that they take care of themselves and they're just healthy. And I also feel like the more that I focus on my health and taking care of my hair, my skin, my body, nourishing myself, it's kind of hard for me to not feel confident because I'm doing the best that I can. Like, I'm becoming the most healthy I can. I'm taking care of my hair the best way that I can. Even if my hair doesn't look, you know, exactly like everyone else's, or somebody has thicker, more longer, more defined hair than I do, I feel more confident in myself when I know that I'm at least doing everything that I possibly can for my hair health, for my skin health, for my body. And like, I think we all know, when we are healthy, we feel good. Like, when you go to the gym, you take care of yourself. When you eat a healthy meal, when you do a hair treatment, no matter what you end up looking like, even if it's not picture perfect, you still feel so much better about yourself. So I think that's tip number one with feeling more confident in your own skin, is focus on your health. What are things that maybe you're neglecting? What are things that you need to work more on? And I know we have health issues and there's like things that sometimes we can't control, but it's like, how can you put more attention into the state of your health, your teeth, your skin, your hair, all of these things to make you feel a little bit more confident about yourself? Because you really cannot get mad at yourself when you're trying your absolute best. I always put so much of this mousse. It's probably coming on camera as like really gray. Maybe not, actually, I don't really know. Another thing that I think is really helpful to feel more confident in your own skin is actually to stop comparing yourself to other women. The more that you compare yourself to other women, I really think that you naturally start to reject your own self, your own beauty, your own thing that makes you really unique. And I think with, I was gonna say the rise of social media, but it's not the rise at this point. It is our lives, social media. We are shown constantly photos and people who look amazing and perfect all of the freaking time. And it really doesn't help, because if you think about back in the day, like I remember when I did not have social media, when I was in high school, elementary school, I remember like I would get those J14 magazines, or, you know, those just whatever weekly magazines. And I would maybe be exposed to a few good looking people like a day or a week, let's say a week. And you know, even on TV shows, I was watching like Family Channel, I was watching those younger shows, and you know, yeah, sure, maybe a lot of those girls kind of looked pretty, but that wasn't the focus of the show. It wasn't like when you go onto Instagram and you're scrolling and literally a girl is posting just how beautiful her body is, or you know, her skin or whatever. It's all about aesthetics, which is fine. And with TV shows, it was more about like the TV show and the plot line. And honestly, there's so many times where I've even caught myself scrolling on social media and looking at all the pretty girls that are on there, or even like Pinterest sometimes. And I instantly start to reject myself. I mean, I've gotten to a point where when I see pretty people, I actually don't really compare myself, which we'll talk about. But no matter what, if I expose myself for too long, too many people, I will start to look at myself and start rejecting myself and being like, oh, you know, you don't look this good. So if you want to feel more confident, I would really suggest you take a inventory or a look at how much time you're spending looking at other people, comparing yourself to other people, following people who really, no fault to their own really, but make you kind of feel bad about yourself. And again, we should get to a point where we can be around prettier people and not feel in competition or not feel comparison, which we can talk about, like I said. But especially I think when you're rebuilding confidence and you're you're wanting to love yourself more, you might need to step away. Like, what are the things that are making you feel like crap about yourself? Most likely it has something to do with social media. It has something to do with the people that you're around. This is not to not be around pretty people or whatever, but I don't know. I think that when it comes to social media, it's really important that you curate your feed online, even in person, but especially online, so that you're not feeling like you're constantly comparing yourself. Another thing that's very helpful is to accept that, you know, you probably do have flaws, and that is okay. This idea of thinking we should never have flaws is so weird. Like, I remember when I was younger, and I honestly was so convinced that the girls on social media or any pretty person didn't have flaws until I actually, you know, did my research, listened to some people, had conversations with my friends, and the truth is everyone is self-conscious about something, some sort of flaw, and I feel like a big part of self-acceptance is just realizing like it's okay that you're not perfect. It's okay that you have maybe like a crooked tooth, or your skin is not absolutely picture perfect, or you know, your hair health is not where it needs to be or you want it to be, or maybe it never will be. Like, there's just things that we have to kind of neutralize in a way and just let it be what it is. Okay, sorry, I finished the rest of that side of my hair because my camera was heating up. I think it's heating up quickly because I am charging it at the same time. So anyways, where were we? I used to, when I realized there was flaws that I had or things I didn't like or I wanted to change about myself, because I didn't accept it and I just couldn't like be okay. And by the way, self-acceptance is not just accepting it and then never wanting to change. We're allowed to change, and we're gonna talk about that. But I got to a point where these flaws would cripple me. When I didn't like my body back in the day, I wouldn't want to go to the beach with my friends. I wore outfits that were super uncomfortable because I was just trying to hide my body because it just didn't look perfect the way that I wanted it to. And instead of just finding my own style, I just felt so uncomfortable in everything. And I just feel like if I just told myself like, it's okay that your hips are a little bit bigger than all your other friends that are wearing 00 Hollister shorts at school. It's okay that your hair is not super long and straight like all your friends. Like, it's okay, it's totally fine. And I feel like if I was able to let myself just be, I would have lived my life a little bit more, like actually been in the present moment and not let that just take over my life and stop me from living my life. But also, I would have probably wanted to change things a little bit different about myself, or taken my time wanting to change certain things. If I accepted that my ass was not as big as how everyone else's asses were when everyone else was uplifting the Kardashian BBL, which people still do, okay? And I remember when this was like such a big craze, and I realized like, wow, my ass doesn't look like that. And I hated it so much, I just couldn't accept it, that I got to a point where I was literally looking into BBLs. This is such a long time ago, but I was actually really considering it because I was like, oh my God, this will fix all my problems. But if I just was okay with the fact that like, okay, my ass doesn't look like Kim Kardashian's ass, I probably wouldn't have gone to the extreme of considering a BBL. Now, there's gonna be times where, you know, no matter what, even if you accept it, you're still gonna wanna change that thing, and to each their own. I'm not here to say that you can't ever change anything, but I probably wouldn't have gone to those drastic I mean, obviously I didn't actually do it. And again, even when I would go out or I'd wear certain outfits, I was always thinking about, oh, my body doesn't look just the way everyone else is, and I'd focus on all the other girls and how they looked, and it would take me out of the present moment. I wouldn't be able to enjoy myself and have fun and feel confident in my own skin because I was so hyper obsessed with the fact that my body didn't look the same as other people. When in reality, if I was just okay with it, then I would have, you know, had more fun and enjoyed myself. Another thing I realized was I cared so much about what other people thought of me. Like, I would think, let's say if we like went to the club, I would be so self-conscious and so obsessed with the fact that like my body didn't look like other girls. And I would start to ask myself the question like, okay, so what if that person, that guy or that girl or whoever, what if they did look at you and they didn't accept you, or they didn't like your ass, or they didn't like your body, or they didn't like your dress or your hair or whatever? Then what? And I started to realize like, okay, yeah, the initial rejection, the initial non-acceptance from other people might hurt, but then it's like, who cares though? Like, who cares if that person doesn't like your body or doesn't like what you're wearing or your hair or your ass or your anything? Because at the end of the day, it's like, those are not actually the people for you. You kind of have to start to question, like, why is it that I'm searching for this validation in the first place from people who are egotistical? And that's what's really helped me through healing my relationship with myself as well when it comes to going out and self-comparison and all these things. Because it's like, okay, and if they don't like you, then what? Who cares? At the end of the day, it's actually like, those aren't your people anyways. Another big thing that's helped me feel more confident in my own skin, and this took me a long time to do, I think also with social media and like seeing everyone and what they're wearing and how they're doing their makeup and how they're doing their hair, but it's honestly to find your own style, to find the makeup looks that you like to wear, that you're comfortable putting on, wearing, and then also just make sense for your life. There'd be times where there'd be certain trends, let's say high-waisted jeans, okay? Like especially when they're like just popular, from the low rise to the high rise. Everyone was wearing them, and a lot of girls looked really good in them. But when I would put them on, I didn't look the same as those other girls, okay? And the reason why I actually did not look the same is because my hips are very curvy. Like they're big hips, not in a bad way. They're just like, they're big hips. And so when I would wear high-waisted jeans over my hips, I'm actually gonna show you. Okay, so when you wear high-waisted jeans, they come up like really high, like above your hips, right? These aren't the best example because I'm wearing, these are like loose on me, but my hips go out like literally here, like they start here. So when I'm wearing something that's really skin tight, when I would wear them, it would look kind of like this, right? And I know you can't really see that much, but it would look like this. And I didn't like this look because I felt like, oh, it looks like you have muffin tops, when really it's just my hips and then it comes back down here. But some girls, the way that they would have it, it would kind of just look, I don't know, all the way straight. I know this is kind of difficult to show. Anyways, for some reason I hated it so much. And I mean, realistically, that's my hip shape, so I shouldn't hate that, which I ended up, loving and whatever. But also I was wearing freaking jeans that just accentuated the hips in a very weird way. Anyways, like what actually looks better on me is to wear mid-rise to low-rise jeans. Okay, so my camera died once again and I'm done my hair. One side's already like basically dry. I'm gonna go under this hooded dryer for a little bit. It is going to have some sounds, so I know that I can hear myself like in the camera, but I'm hoping it's not too annoying, but we'll just have to bear with it just for a second because I would have had this video done if it wasn't for my camera dying. But like I was saying, I was trying to fit into beauty standards for so long, and it really just made everything much more difficult. It made it difficult for me to love myself. I was wearing outfits that just didn't work with my body, so then I ended up hating my hips more. But actually, if I were to wear pants that fit me properly, I wouldn't have hated them so much. And this is not to say that you can't wear something that everyone else is wearing just because your body doesn't look the exact same. Totally fine, but it's like, I find that it just feels like you're working against yourself when you're constantly trying to change yourself and change yourself and change yourself when it's clearly not working. And let's take my hair for example. Everyone had straight hair around me and I have naturally curly hair, and I tried to fit in by perming my hair and flat ironing my hair. Sometimes, yeah, I could do that to my hair and it looks beautiful and it's good to switch it up. But trying to have that as my hair every single day ended up damaging my hair to the point where I literally had to cut off a majority of my hair. I had to rebuild the curls, like do so much, go on such a long journey because I was ruining it, because that's not what my hair needed. My hair didn't need hot irons and perms all the time. It needed for me to be under a hooded dryer and dry my curls the way that it needs to, or put in a bunch of product a certain way. Or even when I would think about the times when I would go out with my friends and they would all be wearing like bodycon dresses, I didn't feel confident wearing the bodycon dress because of the way that my body looked. And I mean, honestly, my body looks great in a bodycon dress, but I was comparing myself to other people, and because I didn't look like that, I would still force myself to wear something because I thought that I really needed to wear a certain dress, but then I would feel so uncomfortable because in my back of my mind, I'm like, I don't look the same as everyone else. Versus if I just wore an outfit that I felt comfortable in and I actually still looked amazing, I always ended up having a better time. I wasn't so in my head. I didn't feel so not confident in my own skin when I would go out and be actually wearing something that looked amazing on my body type, and I actually felt comfortable. I was watching a podcast episode, which I will link down below, and it's called Sophia with an F. I'm sure you guys know of her. She was on Call Her Daddy with that other girl until they like split up. I don't really like their content at all. I never listened or watched much of the podcasts of Call Her Daddy when it was a thing. I just think some of the things that they talk about is a little bit too much, but for some reason, one of her podcast episodes came up on my recommendation, and she was interviewing a surgeon, a plastic surgeon, and they were talking about, I forget what the title was, but something about just like the reality of plastic surgery and getting work done. So I watched it and it was actually really good. And the surgeon was talking about how it's not to deny that there are going to be people who want to get work done because no matter what, they just feel not confident within themselves. He was also talking about like rhinoplasties, like noses, and how, you know, some people who have really, really big noses, like it's an issue for them and they don't like it and they don't feel confident. And when they get that nose job done, it's done. They feel so much more confident. They love themselves and they move on. They're not the ones that continue to keep getting more done and more done and more done. Like there is a small fraction of people who, you know, it makes sense for them to get plastic surgery or get things done. But there's this huge influx of especially women who are constantly getting one thing after another done. And thinking back when I was looking into getting a BBL, I felt insecure about myself, yes, but really and truly, what amplified that insecurity and made me consider looking up getting a BBL was social media. When I went outside in my real life, I might have felt a little bit insecure, but it was never to a point where I thought that I needed to actually surgically change myself. And the more times I was off social media, the more times I was able to actually learn how to accept myself and not completely hate myself. And he was talking about the same thing, like who is influencing you to want to get all of these procedures? And he was talking about how a lot of women, they go into his office and there's red flags that he looks for when people are coming to him. And one of them is, you know, somebody says, I want Kylie Jenner lips, or I want an ass that looks like Kim Kardashian. And it's like, you need to understand that even these women, not only do they have work done, but there's so many edits. These things are not real online. And for us to base our self-confidence off of that is just insane. And bringing it back to self-comparison, at the end of the day, there is always going to be somebody that you think is super beautiful, super confident, super successful, whatever. And that's totally fine. It doesn't mean that you have to be them. It doesn't mean that you're less than, or, you know, you're not picked, or you're not worthy of things in your life just because somebody else is more of a pinnacle of beauty in your eyes, or what everyone else is saying is pretty. And I think there's always two things that you can do. When you look at somebody else and you think that they're so much better than you and you're feeling like low confidence, that's a good indicator that there's probably things about you that you want to change, or they're not exactly where you want to be. That's fine. When you look at somebody being successful and beautiful and they're healthy, it might remind you that maybe you're not so healthy right now. And what are things that you can do to enhance your health? It doesn't mean that you need to now look exactly like this person, but what can I do so that I feel better about myself? Instead of looking at that person and being like, wow, I'm just no good and I'm never going to be like them. But it's also to leave room for you to not be perfect. It's okay that somebody looks hotter than you. It's okay that somebody looks more beautiful than you in your eyes or at anyone else. It's totally okay. It doesn't mean that it's going to be the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you're still not going to have a great life, or that somebody's not going to find you attractive, or somebody, you know, you're not going to be able to express yourself and wear beautiful outfits and still feel confident within yourself. There is room. Okay, I just finished drying my hair. My curls look literally so defined. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera at all, but they look so defined. I'm not going to braid the cast too much, and breaking the cast is basically just like letting these curls get big and stretching my hair as well because I'm gonna do a hairstyle. So I'm just gonna leave my hair like this. It looks a little bit crazy. It's not styled, but that's just how it's gonna be for right now. So yeah, I think one thing that's really helped me feel the most confident in my skin is taking risks. And when I mean taking a risk, I mean taking my mask off and letting myself be who I am in public, online, around friends, in relationships. The parts of me that I've always tried to cover and hide and I would hate, slowly just uncovering those parts and let myself live. And at first it's gonna feel uncomfortable. Let's take my hair, for example, my natural hair. I used to never feel confident to wear my hair at all, ever. But in order for me to honestly feel more confident is for me to put that love and work into my hair, but also to go out for the first time and wear my hair natural. Or if I wanna wear high-waisted jeans, knowing that yeah, my hips aren't gonna look the exact same as everyone else. Or wearing something that actually just feels way more comfortable to me, but maybe I'm going into a spot or an area where not everyone is wearing the same outfit, but you're just embracing it anyways. You're allowing yourself to be in that moment and you're being embodied and you're being yourself. It doesn't always feel comfortable. I feel like in order for you to actually feel comfortable and feel confident is doing things for the first time. And the more times that you do that, the more you get used to accepting yourself and not caring so much and wearing what you want. And your attention stops going on what are people thinking of me or how I look or the fact that my hair's not perfect or my skin's not perfect or whatever. And you start to live in the present moment. And what you will realize is people start to conform to the way that you show up in life. The more times you wear your hair out naturally, the more people are going to accept that and be okay with that because you accept that and you own that and you like that about yourself. And again, this is not to make other people feel comfortable, but people do start to treat you and conform to you based off of how you're putting yourself out there and whether you accept yourself or not. So yeah, just know that when you're trying to be more confident in your skin, it's not always going to feel super comfortable and you're gonna have to take that risk. You're gonna have to take off that mask and you're gonna have to really tell yourself that it's okay that you're not exactly where you want to be at. You're not exactly feeling the most confident about yourself and you're changing and you're trying and you're working on your health and you're doing the best that you can. You have to become your own coach, your own best friend in the moments where you feel very scared and low self-worth and you're not confident. And over time, you're going to start to see yourself flourish. You're going to start to see yourself not care so much. You're going to be around people who also don't care as much. And you're going to witness yourself actually live life and not be so constricted and bounded by these insecurities that you might have. So if you guys want more self-confidence tips, then definitely let me know in the comments what resonated with you, what you want to hear more of. I definitely have gone through so much change, growth, self-love, and it's difficult. It's difficult when it comes to just being confident and when it comes to your looks, even your personality and success, but more so your looks, because, you know, I feel like there's this idea that in order for you to love yourself, you have to accept every part of you and you can't change yourself. And I don't look at it like that. I think self-love is first accepting exactly where you're at and being okay with it and neutralizing all of these feelings, but also looking at yourself for really who you are outside of all of the social media influence and what everyone else thinks that you should look like or be like, and really take inventory and be like, do I really want to change this about myself, or is this something, you know, from somebody who's influencing me from a trend that's happening? And giving yourself that time to really learn about what it is that you're trying to change in the first place or what you want to be more confident about, and then move from there, change from there. Maybe that means you're still going to go ahead and do something that you wanted to do back then, but at least you gave yourself that time. Or maybe you realize, I don't really need to do this procedure or change my hair like this or wear these clothes, and then you allow yourself to find alternative ways to feel more confident. Maybe it's not getting a BBL, but maybe it is going to the gym and actually building muscle, and maybe your butt looks a little bit more rounder and more fuller, but on top of that, you're taking care of your health. It's not just about aesthetics. Or maybe you realize, you know, okay, I don't want to continue to flat iron my hair and ruin my hair. but I also want my hair to look really good. Well, let me learn how to actually nurture my hair and make sure that it's healthy. And over time, when I actually start to feel more healthy, I feel more confident. And I realize my hair is actually very beautiful and it's great. And all I really needed to do is take more time tending and learning about my specific hair or my specific skin, or any health issues that you're going through. Really educating yourself and learning what your body, your unique body needs in order for you to flourish, instead of looking at somebody else and being like, I need to get there and I need to take the shortcut and I need to take a pill or I need to take some sort of thing that's gonna fix me and be that person. It's so important that we flourish ourselves. We plant that seed and we continue to add the water and add the sun and add the climate and really put love into that. And again, when it comes to changing, it's like we're changing and we're growing from a place of self-love, not from a place of self-hate. I used to hate myself in so many ways and I wanted to change out of that. I would go to the gym, I would change my health or try to do something with my health or my hair from a place of hating myself. And until I really just accepted and I loved myself anyways. I loved myself in the days that my skin wasn't amazing or that my hair didn't look super healthy because maybe I neglected it or I had health issues. I accepted that. I was really able to pick up certain self-care practices and things to help me from a place of love that made sense, that allowed me to actually flourish the way that I was meant to flourish. So anyways, I'm gonna go and edit this video and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And also I do have a podcast channel, the Glow Up Secrets podcast on YouTube, but also you can find it on Spotify and Apple if you want to listen to more lengthier conversations about glowing up, self-development, healing, and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.